Hi, I'm Eddie Matthews from the Stratford and District Chamber of Commerce, and the number one thing that we fight all the time has to be working our time, and time management is crucial for so many, and we just don't have enough of it, do we? Michael Snyder is from Future Focus and has a great workshop coming up exactly about that, and joins me today. Hello, Michael.
Hey, how are you, Eddie? Good to see you.
I'm running behind schedule, so this is perfect that we can talk about time management. What is the key to time management, or is there? This is one thing we all complain in business. We just don't have enough time between family and work. We're trying to squeeze everything in, and that's got to be a precarious situation when you're trying to juggle all things at once.
Yes, well, and today's in today's world, we have all this technology around us that helps us to manage our time and our meetings and our to-do lists and everything else but this is probably the worst time period we've ever had where we don't have enough time. And probably the first thing that we hear constantly in the classroom in our leadership training programs is, I wish I could do this, I just don't have the time. It's always the number one barrier to improving our lives and improving our work and improving what we do as leaders. So I would say there's two things that are probably the most important to think about when it comes to time management. One is being purposeful with our time. All too often we get straight off into doing things that, we find busy things, we find busy work. I'm self-diagnosed ADHD, and I have a constant issues around getting procrastination and getting distracted and everything else that on some of the very important things that I need to do. But I let the busyness get in the way of getting to those things that I'm purposeful about and that I need to spend the most time on or need to spend the focus on. So two things would be find the areas that you add the most value, both to your life and your time, as well as to your role or your business that you're in. And number two is find the things that you really love to do. And the things that if I never had to do it again, it would be too soon. And identify how do I remove some of those things that I really don't like doing and I shouldn't be doing, whether it's delegating it, whether it's eliminating, whether it's automating it or whatever. And how then do I transition that time over to the things that I love to do? Because the things we love to do, we are purposeful with. We get up in the morning for. Our strengths come through the things that we're passionate and interested in because we follow it all the time. We watch the best people do it. We read articles, all of those things that make us gives us strength in areas. So how do you transition those things that I know is there a way that I can stop doing this so then I can spend more time doing this? Mm-hmm. And I think that those two things are probably the most valuable things to think about when it comes to time.
One of the things that I thought of as you were mentioning that was because of the COVID pandemic, we became familiar with what you and I are doing right now, which saved us a lot of time. Zoom became such a great blessing in disguise. As much as I like to see you in person, this is much more handy. And it's the same when we have a lot of our meetings, but we're still fighting problems with time, even though we've got this convenience of having Zoom at our fingertips right now.
Yeah. Have you ever decluttered your house or decluttered your office?
Yep.
What's the feeling that you have when you do that? It's like, oh my God, like this, I feel so much more relaxed, I feel more organized, and everything else and you have this great sense of relief.
Yeah.
Right? But then what happens? Then a few other things come back into your house or come back into your office and, you get busy. So then your desk starts to pile up again and everything else so what happened during the pandemic, I think Zoom is brilliant. And what happened during the pandemic made it so that, we can do a sales meeting over Zoom just as well as what we could do in person. Sometimes, like you said, I love that in person and that has to be part of my process when I'm working with clients and with participants and different things like that. But there's so much more efficiency that came from this. But the problem is that efficiency came that I don't have to spend 3 hours going to London and back for a meeting. So I lose a half a day. Now it's just an hour for the meeting, right? It's great. The problem is that then gets piled up again, right? So we find other things that get in our way. So.
Yeah. Well, I want to be aware of everybody's time that's watching this. Tell us about the workshop coming up.
Sure. There's some things that are obvious about time management that we do. Like we do some really good things that some people might have heard of before, but it's great reminders because finding time management and finding more purpose in our time it's a maintenance thing. It's not just a one spot in time thing. It's a maintenance thing. So building some new habits around how we're intentional with where we spend our time is important. We're going to be doing a piece in this that you're going to really find interesting. And it really is about how do we get more time doing the things that we love to do, and how does that then impact our performance and our productivity and our sense of well-being and everything else like that. And then that'll be an absolutely unique aspect to it that I think everybody will enjoy a lot. I'm forward to spending some time with everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
And you and I both will make time for golf in once the snow melts, and we always seem to make time for that, don't we?
Oh yeah. Well, that was one of the things that came into creeped into my time management.
Absolutely.
But
If we
that's
do,
something I love to do, and it's something that adds value to my life too. So.
yeah, it really is. Hey, Michael, if we do want to find out more about Future Focus, what's the website?
It's future-focus.ca, and
Yeah.
we've got an excellent senior leadership program that is being launched actually in Stratford. We've been working with you guys for a few years now, and we're launching that come this spring. So we look forward to working with some more of the chamber member organizations.
Yeah, right on. Hey, great to see you. I'm glad we get to spend some time together, as Carol Burnett used to say, and we'll look forward to doing it again. Okay.
Excellent. Thank you, Eddie.
Michael Snyder from Future Focus joining us. And if you want to find out more about the workshop, please go to our chamber website and for more information, stratfordchamber.com. I'm Eddie Matthews from the Stratford and District Chamber of Commerce.